What's up? So the DanDaDan fandom has been a little bit different recently. And as you know, DanDaDan is a new seasonal anime. It's come out, 12 episodes long. It's about fighting aliens and spirits, right? And I personally enjoy it. I have a problem when it comes to watching anime. Whenever a show comes out, the first episode comes out and I watch it, if I like it, I have this issue where I will read the entire manga in one like binge session, and then I'll get hooked on it and get mad when there's not manga chapters coming out. I like manga more than anime, and that's an issue to me because I also like anime. Like I like watching and reading at the same time. It's hard for me to balance. But recently on TikTok and Twitter, the DanDaDan fandom has been a bit different, and we're gonna be talking about that today. Yeah, let's hop into it. So there's like three things, maybe two things I want to talk about. But the first one, why don't people like Kenta? He's the GOAT. Like, I'm being so serious. All across the internet, I'm seeing people like, man, I can't stand Kenta. Kenta's so lame. Right? They don't understand the complex being that is Kenta. Along this lineup, right, which I don't even know why this person says he think he on the team, when you got the class president and that weird girl who just joined them with the little mini things. What's the why are you shitting on Kendall for? What he do? He goated, bro. Kenta is goated, and like I'm not even joking. There's so many people who just don't like Kenta when they say he's not on the team. Like, look at this.
You better not mess with my gang, or you'll be messing with Oopie Goopy, General Munchkin Man, Lil Jim Bob, and worst of all, Larry.
And that's like a whole thing. Also, his name Fifth Right Kage. Follow him. He's funny. But like, people just don't mess with Kenta. Like, they act like he's weird when he's really not. He's like, while everybody else got powers, he's just like a regular dude until he gets the nano skin, in which
You better not mess with my gang.
this is what happens when he get the nano skin. He is goated, and people just don't like him, and I don't know why. And even in his backstory, he goes on to explain that, yeah, I'm just a regular dude, right? I'm actually below average to the point where I only hang out with people who are also below average to make myself feel better about myself. And he's dealing with deep insecurities, but you know what? This group of friends that he has, they allow him to just be himself and exist with the insecurities. He's Gigi and Okarum, they are some of his closest friends because, they accept him for who he is. Now, is he a little bit, perverted? Maybe. But this is an anime about finding a guy's balls. I mean, I'm sorry. What are we talking about? We could talk about perverted all the time, but they hang out with an alien that has like an injection thing coming out of his pelvis. I don't see how that's any... Like, yeah, he's a little bit weird, but still, he's a great character, and I don't see why people don't like him. This is Kenta. Look at this. He's in a Gundam. That's so cool. But, I don't know. Kenta, he's goated to me. He's one of the funniest characters in the series. Okaru's still my favorite, but still, like, Kenta's the GOAT, bro. I don't care how people don't like him. But the next topic, we don't talk about that. This is a segue into the topic that I want to talk about. It's talking about how I've always wondered why anime was so successful in America compared to Asian dramas or films. Turns out Americans think that anime characters are white. Now, this is an issue that all people, especially Americans, face, where if a character shares a similar skin tone to them, they can relate to them more as they think that they can identify with this character. Like how white people think that if they see a Japanese character, because, the skin tones that anime might portray them in, that they are white. But in fact, they are Japanese, they're Asian. So some people think that, they relate. Black people have this issue too, and they see a tan Japanese character, they automatically assume, oh, they're black, when they're just tan Japanese people. The Goku was, this is just an example. I don't think Goku would be a good live action, Henry Cavill would be a good live action Goku, but also, like, Goku's also a Saiyan, right? So you can't even say he identifies as any, like, human race, but it's still a thing where people, black and white, conflate themselves to being in these animes because they can see these characters that have sort of the same skin tone and relate to them, whether that be true that they are the same character, like they're relatable or not. Now, this is, a segue into the next part, which is this. Now, you look at this is fan art. I personally don't mind it. It's just fan art. People, in fandoms will draw art depicting characters however they want. There are some people who draw them, older. There's some people who draw them. I saw, and this is about the My Hero fandom, which maybe don't take it too seriously because it's My Hero. Someone drew Uraka as an adult, but bigger, like 300 pounds at the same height. Like she was I think Uraka's like 5'2" in canon, and she was drawn 300 pounds. She had folds, and not that that's a bad thing, but that's just how fan bases just display how their affection for the series. This is fan art. Fan art has always been just people drawing things to express themselves as in the fandom. Anime is a space where people should be able to express themselves. Now there are people who draw race swap characters. This is what this is. This is a race swap. Now, do I have an issue with this? Not really, no. I don't see the issue with it. Fan bases draw characters all the time. If you want to have an issue with something that fan bases do, get mad when they draw an anime character like who's young, like 13-year-old. Get mad when they draw them sexualized. Don't get mad when they draw them like this. This isn't really an issue to me, but it is an issue to a lot of the DanDaDan fans on Twitter and on TikTok, and I'll show you. This is something about how I felt about it. This is how I felt about it, at least. That's how it felt. People were calling DanDaDan fans clan to clan because of how visceral the reaction was to this person drawing Okarun and Momo like that. And I didn't really care. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't care for it, but when it was when white Americans got mad at it, that's where my issue came in at. Because they got mad at it for essentially no reason other than they think it's wrong. Well, not even wrong. They don't like it. They don't like seeing black people in these spaces when it isn't really their space to begin with, to be honest. It's really not an American space to begin with. It's a Japanese space that we, like I said, we've put ourselves in. But anime is a giant, entertainment community. People of all races will end up joining that fandom. Whether you like it or not, and whether you think it's appropriate or not, they can express themselves how they want in fandoms. There are people who still get mad at black people when they cosplay as certain characters because, oh, you can't do that. They're not black. What if I cosplay as this black character? Who cares, right? It's cosplay. This fan drawing, it's just them showing, because this was made by a 16-year-old, by the way. This was them just showing their, love of DanDaDan. This is good art, to be honest. This is good art. I don't see what the issue was, but a lot of people did not like it. And this is some of the things that came about in their dislike of it. If Okarun was black, I would probably be scared of the size of his and run away. That's racist. I don't know what, this is clearly a different drawing and they drew Okarun black in a different manner, but this is just racist. This is straight up racism. This is the kind of stuff I saw all over Twitter for 3-4 days, and I was just like, why? What's the point, right? What's the point? I mean, I understand, I dismissed a lot of things because I just think it's stupid. This is just stupid to me. What's the point of writing this? If he was black, I would be scared of the size of his penis? Why are you fantasizing about that in the first place? He's 16 years old. At what point is it appropriate to say this at all? This is a child. I don't know. This is just something there's a visceral fear of black people in the international community. Most of it is just propaganda by America, but that's a whole separate thing. This is just, I didn't understand why this was a thing. Well, why would you post this? But this isn't even the worst offender. This is this is the this isn't the author. This is the voice actor for Okarun in the dubbed version, right? His name is AJ Beckles, I think. Really cool dude. Actually, the tag in this is the actual author of the or the artist who drew the original fan art. He made it his profile picture because he genuinely liked the art, right? He felt that he liked it, and he's in fact dating one of the other voice actors, and they used the art in their, you know, profile picture too. The art was well received for a lot of, because it wasn't bad at all. He liked it. They bullied him off of Twitter. I'm not even joking. They made him, like, they hated it so much that they tried to bully him off of Twitter. And they even said that he should lose his job as a voice actor because of the fact that he, you know, likes this art, because they think it's blackwashing. This is a Japanese person who wrote this. I had to use Google Translate on it. So this is more or less the thing. And they said it's turning black people Japanese is a form of hate. Like, that's a hate image. And I don't think so. I think it's just love and appreciation for the art and the culture that they do, and they want to include themselves in the culture, and there's nothing wrong with that. Saying black people shouldn't be allowed in these spaces is something, like, I don't understand why. And saying that the art is disrespectful and it's blackwashing, when that's not the case at all. None of the characters in DanDaDan are black. It's not blackwashing, it's just a fan expressing themselves. Sure, if this was an art drawn out of malice, like if somebody went out their way to, like, hey, if someone went out their way to draw this, like, hey, this is how it should be, that they should be black, that'd be different. But no, this is just a 16-year-old expressing how they felt about the show. The visceral reaction of, like, racism and disgust, I didn't understand it, because, like, what's the point, right? And look, if you say it's like them infringing on Japanese culture, sure, but then you can therefore be hypocritical and come out and say, hey, well, anytime I see a black or a Japanese person with dreads and afro, any kind of, if they like any kind of rap or hip hop, that's racism, that's hate. Anytime that they dress in any kind of black fashion, any kind of aesthetic, if you see a Japanese person wearing a do-rag, that's racist and that's cultural appropriation. It's not the case. Cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation are two different things, and honestly I think the art was just cultural appreciation instead of, like, appropriation. But that's just my personal opinion. I didn't think it was that deep to get mad over and, like, say that the voice actor should be fired and taken away from his job because he doesn't respect the culture. It's not blasphemy against Japanese people, and it's not discrimination, right? But that's just my personal opinion. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.